Well, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Zongpo, good afternoon and welcome once again to the BoB Bhutan Premier League, where today's fixture may involve the bottom two sides in the table, but do not let the standings fool you, because in a league this competitive, in a league this congested, one victory can change everything. Today it is UGYEN Academy FC against THIMPHU FC, the Thunderbolts, 9th against 10th. But perhaps more importantly, a chance for redemption, a chance for momentum, a chance to climb back into the conversation. Both sides arrive with identical records, 1 victory, 3 defeats, and only 3 points collected so far, and both knowing that another defeat would leave them looking nervously over their shoulders. But there is another side to this story, because this league table remains remarkably compressed. Just recently, BoB FC overtook BFF Academy, joined in points, but with their record will go up to first place, 10 points, and it is only a 4-point difference between first and 7th, a spot which UGYEN Academy and THIMPHU will be looking forward to taking today as the starting 11 for UGYEN Academy. Looking solid, Hochonyima just back from his international duty. A solid call-up to the Senior Dragons is back on goal for UGYEN Academy. Kanuanchu in the back line, Jig Drill there, captain Asia Tendrup and Ronit Rai completing the back line. Chimi, Toji, Nong Tenzin, Ugen Chile, Nong Sonam Pravin Urao and Santa Kumar Limbu, their top scorer, completing the starting 11 for UGYEN Academy. The squad that Coach Kinle Toji will look forward to get their second win of their campaign so far. As for the Thunderbolts, they will be looking forward to regain momentum after a stark drop-off in terms of performance. But here is the starting 11. Pramijay Gachada back in goal. Jimiwanchu Udoka, Iboawu 22, Tincha Neo 99, Anthony's Namgil the backline. Kritish Ratna, Stefan Abeku in the middle, alongside a new signing over from Ghana, William Opoku Asidu, 42. For THIMPHU FC, they do have a Nigerian forward signed as well, Chizova Christopher Kobe from Nigeria, 52, last played in India, picked up now by the Thunderbolts. The rest of the starting 11, Tincho Kelson, no surprise there, and Richard Wilson, their number 10, has been consistent in the last couple of matches, did struggle to get his season going, but again, a reminder as to what is at stake. A win this afternoon would not really send either side to the top of the table or even the middle, but it would pull them immediately into a 3-way tie alongside Tirang FC and Transport United, who are currently tied at 6th and 7th with 6 points to their name. And suddenly the bottom of the table becomes the middle. A difficult start begins to look recoverable, and that is why these 90 minutes matter so much. For UGYEN Academy FC, this is another opportunity for one of the league's youngest squads to demonstrate the promise that has earned them so much admiration despite their results. They are a side built around development, a side willing to trust youth. And every week they do grow a little more comfortable at this level. Across from them stands the THIMPHU FC side carrying expectations of their own, especially in their 2 new signings. We did see a similar pattern across for the Tigers. Came into this league with 2 new Gambian players over at RTC, Artificial Turf, in which they decimated their opposition. But as to whether it will be the same story for the Thunderbolts today, well, that remains a question for the next 90 minutes. Do let me know which team you are supporting for the season. Do let me know which team you are looking forward to come out with the victory here at UGYEN Academy Artificial Ground. Last time around, defending at home, it was a brutal loss over to Tirang. The youngsters almost thought they had the game in the bag until the last minute clinical performance from Stefan Stalin shut off their run, ended in a 3-2 defeat, but will be looking to make a statement worthy of celebrations in front of their home crowd. The referees for today, Chokyom, assisted by Hemkumar Sunwar, and Pema, the 4th official for today, will be Purpa Wangchu. And in the meanwhile, massive thanks to our sponsors, Bank of Bhutan, our internet partners, Bhutan Telecom Limited, our beverage partners, Coca-Cola, and to our new clothing partners, Hummels, as we look forward to an entertaining match over here at UGYEN Academy as we await the Warriors and their grand entrance towards a sea of chants and cheers from UGYEN Academy's home ground.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're able, please stand up for the national anthem.
And again, ladies and gentlemen, THIMPHU and welcome over here at UGYEN Academy. As these youngsters look to take on the Thunderbolts, who arrived with so much expectations, so much hopes, down from the qualifiers where they dominated the rest of their opposition. And right now, it has been their counterpart who emerged as runners-up from that qualifiers. It was UGYEN FC, who have since rebranded themselves from their former name, Namla. And right now, currently they are third in the league, 8 points right behind BFF and Paro, a 2-point difference. As for THIMPHU FC struggling to stay afloat right now, bottom of the table, UGYEN Academy is fighting to stay simply afloat. They have a long legacy. They are a team with culture. They are a team with pride. Do believe once upon a time they do have the championship with their name on it as well. But the league has evolved since. It has been one of the things to marvel about here in the league in Bhutan, despite the level of play not really meeting many fan expectations. It has grown at an exponential rate. That has been sure. And right now, building on that momentum, right in front of the referees is UGYEN Academy captain Chikdrill. A giant partnership in that backline alongside Kandruwanchu. a threat for any team to fear. Defensively, UGYEN Academy really do not have that many weaknesses. It is simply their options up front where they are lacking. Santa, a solid talent, so is Praveen, but they do not necessarily have the equation that will get them their answer. Somehow, surprisingly, Santa Kumar has found himself plenty of goals as well, despite the struggles he is having throughout the entirety of the match. A goal against Tensung, a goal versus BFF, a goal against Serang FC as well, complemented by Ngawang Sonam, who had a goal in that 2-3 loss at home, and this time will be looking to defend their fort once again, to give their classmates, to give their peers a reason to celebrate. As for head coach Raj and THIMPHU FC, their lineup pretty solid, chock full of foreign talent as well. A combined total of 4 local players starting in their 11. But we'll be looking forward to see the role that their new Ghanaian and Nigerian 42 and 52 will be playing in. Again, for clarification, right on that circle, the giant up front is Chizoba Christopher Ikobe, the forward from Nigeria, last played in India. Not many information about him. He only got the squad list right before the match. But hopefully will be looking to get himself a solid debut here in the BoB, Bhutan Premier League. That's THIMPHU. Early initiative, but Lochonyima clean save this time around. For Bhutan and the Dragons, it was Sringdendu and Lochonyima who took part in both international campaigns. Bhutan are coming off of not really their best form, not really their best confidence, but glad to see these guys back. And UGYEN Academy back with one of the most experienced and tenured coaches in Bhutan. Head coach Kilen Doji, always a pleasure to see his pre-match interviews. Can see his charm shining right through. But at this moment in time, it will be more of his tactical ability that will be displayed here as UGYEN taking it off from Chimidoji. Who cuts right in, has that first step, but that duck. No whistle there, thought there was going to be one, and now possession back immediately the other way around. UGYEN Academy scrambling to get some resemblance of a formation going as that delivery left all alone, but the volley not quite the best connection he will want as Chizoba will not get the contact he wants, and now back the other way around. Tens Namge, no mistakes, will send it right back out to Pramijay. As unexpectedly an explosive exchange early on. Tencho Neo now on that right flank gets a decent through ball in. Tencho Kelson not expecting it, couldn't quite get a run in, but off of a mistake from UGYEN Academy. And a finish off the woodworks early on in the second minute. That's Chizoba with an explosive debut, and UGYEN Academy with a costly mistake. The youngsters left waiting for a flag that never came. And a celebration with flair, and a celebration with African charisma. As Chizoba Christopher Ikobe makes it 1, and an early lead. THIMPHU FC has missed their campaign all campaign long. A closer look at that. Tencho Kelson, no mistake, almost went off as well. Inches from being a shot that they would come to regret, but a solid job from their side. As we are back to a silent stretch in this match, a surprise lead early on for THIMPHU FC, but their new forward making a remarkable debut. Did see the same with Abduli Balde and Siddiqui Jawara Cavani and Alves for Paro, who has been in solid form since as well. Yesterday are coming off of a brutal and surgical cleanup of BFF Academy to snatch that first spot right away from them. And it will be a hard story ahead for BFF Academy's boys as well, as they do have their next match lined up against THIMPHU City. But back to the match at hand, the THIMPHU's getting a clean connection in. THIMPHU Neo now getting that overlap on that right, but delivery will be off far left. And UGYEN Academy, not quite enough lift on that pass to get that cleared off. And a whistle on that challenge on Jigril Toji. As UGYEN Academy now get the opportunity to regroup. An ambitious delivery there. Did see plenty of conversions from those sorts of efforts. Did see a lot of saves as well, but this time will not be the one to go in. Head coach Raj looking quite smug on that side. Will be pretty pleased with the early advantage his boys have. Neo. THIMPHU. Knocked off by a solid challenge. It will be a throw-in now the other way around. They were trying to do something tactical on that left flank, but couldn't quite get it past Praveen. Again, the forwards of UGYEN Academy. Well, a bit of a scuffle going there from the bench of THIMPHU. Not quite happy, I believe, with a couple of words that were thrown on the ground. Still escalating. THIMPHU FC will need to get their members under control. A yellow card already shown over to Nyimayeze on the bench, but Tokiom still on the sidelines. Propongchu there to help as well. Again, right in the home of UGYEN Academy. That's a yellow card to UA's captain as well. Again, this is the turbulent times we are living through. So hopefully the matter is resolved early on. Well, had the opportunity to do something there, but will not quite work. As Ronit gets an unfortunate pass in, and now immediately back the other way around with an Academy strong challenge. The other new debutant, the Ghanaian, William Opoku-Asidu. Not much of an impact from his side, but it is only the beginning of a long 90 minutes. His new partner, Chizoba, has already got himself on the score sheet and looking to build on from there. THIMPHU. Superb patience, but couldn't quite apply it on that pass. Kando. Despite an early score there from THIMPHU, this game still searching for rhythm. The intention from these players pretty much there, but the execution is having some difficulty catching up. As again, THIMPHU gets a pass directly towards UGYEN Academy, who gets a solid read in and possession right back. It is UGYEN Academy the first to return, and drama right in the middle again as Tenzin Namgyal a couple of words against Chimi. Surprising chaos early on, as this time different personnel. Again, a bit unnecessary there from Chimidoji. That first stumble, not his fault, but following that, did try to get him in a chokehold of sorts. As referee Chokyom, a lot to do early on, but will be let off with a warning. UGYEN Academy. Again, both teams, they can play much better than this. But that mental block affecting both sides quite equally, as well as both teams resorting to a primitive level of football. Simply hoping for position this time. UGYEN Academy blessed and fortunate. Get a corner on that other end. Taking it again as Ugentine couldn't quite get a proper delivery on in that first attempt from that same position. But hopefully, calibrations done right. A lot of targets as well. UGYEN Academy will not lose out in terms of physicality. Target is Kando in that back. But it has to fight off against the Thunderbolts' new debutant. And it is a tough task to ask of him. As again, THIMPHU FC, an uncharacteristic mistake. A lot to be fought for here. 3 points here will take them within margins of climbing right back up to the top of the table. And right now it is THIMPHU that, despite the chaos, gets a solid contact in that end, but lobs it high up above Lochan Nyema and the goalposts. Richard Wilson has been in solid form, has been consistent throughout THIMPHU's recent campaigns, but still missing that conversion. Again, a solid through ball that set up that run perfectly in stride. And UGYEN Academy will get the chance to breathe. Bit of a late whistle there, but this time no scuffle. British Chunju knocked down from behind. The entire body of Ugentinle sent towards Chunju. And it will earn a set piece for THIMPHU FC. So far, it has only been Central Kelson with solid deliveries. One against RTC, but this time will not quite get read perfect on that ball, and it is Locho Nimastute, UGYEN Academy right now scrambling to get any sort of form in. It has been their sheer hustle and effort that has got them then possession deep inside THIMPHU territory. Pincho lobs it off quite perfectly, takes that first, delivers the second. And it is in. Richard Wilson had one coming for him for a long, long time. And one goes in finally. A lot of gaps in that back line for UGYEN Academy. Central Kelson with the vision to get it in right where it hurt the most. Again, despite the interruption early on from Ishitsoba, look at that, the judgment second time around to get it right to the side of that net. Two goals inside the first quarter of an hour. UGYEN Academy facing a ridiculous burst of pace from THIMPHU FC, to which they are not finding any proper answer at this point. Right in the middle, their Ghanaian debutant William Opoku. St. Neo seems like he's pretty comfortable with that back line after playing on that front for so long. Was up front as a winger, as a striker throughout their qualifiers in the first couple of games for the Thunderbolts, but right now has found his calling in that right back position. Not the paciest guy you would want on that position, but his physicality more than makes up for it as well. As Santa gets a couple of flicks up inside THIMPHU's box, but cannot really create anything out of that opportunity. As Pravin fights off for possession. It is on that right, cross delivered inside, headed off by St. Neo. Back again for UGYEN Academy. Again, a solid first step from the youngster, but it is THIMPHU FC. They are playing off against plenty of plays, distributed equally against the entirety of their roster. And so far, no clear answer for UGYEN Academy to find their first step towards mounting their comeback here in this face-off. Their second defense at home failed the first time around. Will not want a repeat of that matchup. That time it was much closer. UGYEN Academy, in fact, was the team that had the lead early on, until their progress, their momentum was halted and thwarted by the substitution of Stefan Stolin from Zirang. UGYEN Academy, solid challenge in there. Again, a closer look at that. Hishet Sobel. No regard for human life whatsoever, but that effort does get them yet another delivery inside the box. This time it rolls right out, left-footed, volley past Pramijay, and what a fantastic strike it was as Run It Right gets one in for UGYEN Academy. A stunning finish, clean contact on that ball. And the crowd finally has reason to celebrate and get their boys going. In the moment of darkness for UGYEN Academy, couldn't have asked for a better sparkle Then that lightning by way of 22. And Ronan Drive finally gets himself in the score sheet for UGYEN Academy. Boys in blue. First step complete, but it will be step 2 and step 3 they will need to get the 3 points from today. Momentum on their side. The audience enjoying and taking in every second they get out of the sheer aggression from their boys. As throw-in is handed right back out to UGYEN Academy. Anyone's ball at this point. Santa, a foot in the way. And again, a heavy contest there from UGYEN Academy, but this time Richard Wilson will find an escape out to that left. THIMPHU, despite an advantage with 2-1. The voice of the crowd ringing loudly in their ears. Always a hard environment to fight in. THIMPHU Kelson has been through worse. Will get it right again. His composure may be the answer going forward, as this time a shot's denied by Lochanyama. The second attempt from Chizowa Christopher, not quite there. A struggling start for Lochanyama in this campaign. Couldn't quite really see any hope of stopping those two first goals, but this time around his confidence should be back up. Final shot off target, did have the reflexes to get at least a challenge in. Udoka clears it long, clears it right towards Richard Wilson, who somehow still comes out on top despite that first heavy touch. One of 3 teams only again who field fully local players so far throughout the entirety of their legacy here in the BoB Bhutan Premier League. UGYEN Academy has been a team that you do not underestimate under any terms, and that is especially the case in their home ground, their home advantage. Truly an atmosphere as electric as can be. And right now, despite the lead, UGYEN Academy do feel like they have the upper hand going forward into this match. Only at the 22-minute mark right now as the throw-in played short. Right back out, a better angle for a delivery, but a deflection in the way. Santa fighting off against Stefan Abeku. Will earn possession back for UGYEN Academy, who lets off too relaxed of a shot. THIMPHU FC dropping deep are rewarded. They do get a pass off to THIMPHU Kelson, who have only one connection to make in that final stretch. Off to the right, challenge from Kandrukas right back in. THIMPHU Kelson still alive, but finally knocked out of balance. Referee Choki holds on to her whistle, and now UGYEN Academy in possession, looking to take it up on the counter. But again, despite looking promising early on, We are not seeing any proper fruition on these efforts. Well, Udoka climbed right above. Santa did not like that at all. Did see a shove in the way. But will miss the vision of the referee, and now back underway. It is THIMPHU FC with the opportunity to orchestrate something magical here at UGYEN Academy. They already have two. They have momentum going for them. A heat check, all we have left. Estes Namge. Pramije. Not much he could have done to keep that clean sheet alive against that wonderful strike from Ronit. As St. Neo gets the read in right in the middle, connection between Stefan Beku and Chizoba. As UGYEN Academy gets that clearance off, St. Neo a bit too far off for him to use that javelin throw of his. Always a dangerous opportunity to give away a throw-in from deep inside your own territory against a man like St. Neo. Haven't really seen a throw-in of that range here in the BoB Premier League so far. But it does end in the corner. Taking it is Chimmy for UGYEN Academy. Their early goal did come by way of a surprise shot from that blind spot far off past the penalty area. This time around, we'll be looking to execute the same mission, but they do decide to play it short. Chikdral helping out, looking for that delivery from a better angle. Pramije gets that double punch out. Tencho Dawson with a brilliant header flicked it past Chikdral. UGYEN Academy fortunately gets that final outlet out. Nima taking no risk, posted up right down the middle. THIMPHU FC, their aerial ability too strong for UGYEN Academy. They do have most of their dual winners posted right in that backline in Kandru and Chikdral. Otherwise, all of their forwards all rely on their technical ability and their pace. Again, St. Neo set up for that javelin. Not quite sure if that is support or if that is distraction from behind, but St. Joe, not enough space to get a proper run up in. It's finally the throw in, played right down the middle. And again, the effort from the veteran will send it right back out to Nima. Socho. Was nice to see him donning the Bhutan jersey a couple weeks back. Not quite his best performances, did look like he was out of it a little bit. But glad to see him given the opportunity, and this time his talent's back with UGYEN Academy. He did have a solid stint in that first round before the international break. Roll right up, Pravin. The opportunity to work wonders on that right, but Udoka gets a solid read in twice. And it is the Thunderbolts to play. Stefan Abeku. Udoka. Neo. On that overlap will be the target on that pass. A lot of options going forward. But couldn't quite get it to Neo, who inverted right in the middle. And it is UGYEN Academy back the other way around. Again, right up in front. Set up right on the edge of that 6-yard box, but Santa couldn't guide it in. Pramije way too far out, way too thin on that contact. Solid vision there from Ronit Rai again, who has been the spark of life, carrying this UGYEN Academy side forward throughout the entirety of this match. Half an hour in, and a lot more football to be played as UGYEN Academy continue to build up on much more promising attacks than they have shown us in the first couple of minutes at least. Stefan Abeku. Now off to the right, Neo. Udoka. Simply unfortunate on that final connection. Expected a run there, did not expect a pass, however. And now back off to UGYEN Academy. Did concede one early on, courtesy of a missed pass from their back line, which gave THIMPHU Kelson all the room in the world to get a solid pass out. A completely different story had it not been for that missed pass. But again, this is the game of football. Sometimes you win some, sometimes you lose some. And there is still an hour left to see the outcome. Now Neo on that right. Heavy challenge there, but a step too far behind. Yazgong Tenzirabge gets that slip. THIMPHU Kelson gets a shot off on that final pass there from Jizova. Promising build-up, looked like it was a powerful shot coming by way of THIMPHU Kelson. But wind-up took too long. UGYEN Academy got a solid chance in, but possession handed right back over. THIMPHU. UGYEN Academy taking it slow. It is Kandu. The final line of defense gets a clear read on that dribble from William. And it will be out for THIMPHU FC to regroup and restart their efforts. William Masidu. Solid delivery. It is back post. A header there right to Asocho Nima, who had that angle covered. Solid awareness from the goalkeeper. And solid decision making, launching that counter offensive immediately on that right. Pravin, his pace. A threat for every team, but his judgment slightly off as he gets that pass off of the defender, and initiative lost again. Plenty of coverage for UGYEN Academy in that back line, and this time immediately on the other end. Opportunity for Chimitoji to set one more in for UGYEN Academy. A bit more than 10 minutes remain until the end of the half. Plenty of scuffles, plenty of physicality early on as well. But no excuses. UGYEN Academy delivery back. A solid header, but it is forced out. And a follow-up shot there from UGYEN Tile will be deflected off, and immediately on the counter-attack, it is THIMPHU FC. Now on the right, their captain, THIMPHU Kelson, taking it slow, taking it calm. UGYEN Academy, that might be the opportunity they need to regroup. But as much as there was promise, there was as much disappointment as THIMPHU FC take it slow yet again. Delivery chipped on that left flank. Not quite many angles to operate in. UGYEN Academy this time around seems to have solidified their formations a bit. As THIMPHU gets a solid chest in. A bit too tight to get that left foot in. Well, it seems like Kritish Chunju is down for THIMPHU and evaluations underway. It is a strong lead right now for THIMPHU FC, sitting on top of 2 goals. Courtesy of Chizoba, their Nigerian forward who makes his debut for the club today. And the other from Richard Wilson, off of a masterful strike. But that response, the best goal we've seen so far in this match. Time to perfection, technique perfect, and again, top corners, who doesn't love it? As Chunju is getting evaluated, UGYEN Academy will restart with possession. THIMPHU FC will be pressing quite high on, looking to get possession early on inside UGYEN Academy's half. And that philosophy does pay off. It is THIMPHU's to work with, but off of an unfortunate mistake, it does slip right up to Pravin to make something happen on that right flank. It has been failure after failure for UA7 on that right. And this time again, locked down. UGYEN Academy will have to settle for a corner yet again. UGYEN Chinle lays it short from a better angle. Left-footed, delivered low. And THIMPHU now the opportunity up front as Richard Wilson breaks free. But can't get it to go in. It will be a goal kick for Hochonyima and UGYEN Academy. Not quite sure what happened on that defense. Again, a closer look at that. As Richard Wilson took complete advantage of the confusion right at the half line. We tried to do a little bit too much. As this time again, an immediate response on the other end. UGYEN Academy get it shot off. The challenge from Udoka will send it right back out. This time it is a throw-in. Driven right down the middle, but couldn't quite keep it under control as THIMPHU. Now the opportunity to make something happen for their side. So far, these teams handing gifts over to each other. As evident. Tencho Neo right back out. UGYEN Academy right back in. This time, a solid control there from UGYEN Chinle, but not quite the awareness to keep possession alive. Took too long. UGYEN Academy looking to break free, gets a clean pass out to that left flank. That right flank not working for them. Can they find an answer somewhere on that left? Their goal did come from that angle this time. Jimmy plays it right down the middle. Masterful dribbling right down the middle as Tencho Neo stumbles. Well, at least it did end in a shot this time around. Long Sona already has one in for himself in that 3-2 loss against Sirang in this very field at UGYEN Academy's artificial turf. Looked to get one in for himself, but couldn't quite get the technique correct. And it will be chaos yet again in midfield. No team solid enough to build any sort of promise with the touches they get. Brevin tipped. Santa with the tie keeps it under control, but it is Udoka, sets it up for Chimi. Too much hesitation, held back way too much on that shot. Easy save there for Premier League. But Tenjo Kelsen, miscommunication right back out towards Chimitochi. And Tenjo Neo gets a read in. And again, back to a struggling bit of possession for both sides. William chipped off right in along the line as THIMPHU FC. Another mistake. So many turnovers from both sides today. Not quite sure what is going on. The situation for them is that they are bottom of the table and they will need all the points they can get from this match. Otherwise, it will be a long campaign for them. Looking up towards the top and no one underneath. As again, a solid opportunity culminated in a terrible miss there from Santa. Again, an interesting season for the UA forward. Santa has forwarded a lot of goals, but for the eye test, doesn't really look like he is playing solidly. He is struggling, and in the midst of it all, somehow he ends up finding a goal past the opposition's net. Well, a confusing player he is, but he is effective as Kandu gets that clearance off towards his own defender. And now William, fantastic footwork, keeps it alive with that final challenge. We'll send it the other way around, this time on that left. Santa again couldn't quite run past Tenzin Namge. UGYEN Academy's home ground haven't found much reason to celebrate since that goal in the 22nd minute from Ronit. But right now, UGYEN Academy looking to shake things up with an effort from distance, but a bit too far out. Solid nonetheless. And it will be back to Plamizé. William gets it right back, this time on the flanks. THIMPHU trying again and again. They are looking solid in the first 10 passes, but it is somewhere in between the 10 and 15 where they mess up. And again, Tencho held on to possession for far too long and gave UGYEN Academy yet another chance. Only a minute left until we see the signal for additional time, and right now the youngsters are getting desperate in front of their home crowd. Looking promising. Wilson, clean delivery inside, and that finish off target. Nyima position quite brilliantly, and Chizoba. Despite a strong start, right now struggling to find those touches in. He is getting a lot of chances in. Again, a closer look at that attempt. Dangerous chance there. But the scoreline will remain the same. THIMPHU FC, the Thunderbolts at 2, UGYEN Academy FC at 1. And again, THIMPHU FC strong in the air, will get that final touch off to Richard Wilson. Not much help, too many defenders in the way, will cut right back out. Hand it over, Sencho fakes, but the challenge clean. Udoka, right towards Stefan Abeku. Sencho Neo. William. Miss pass again. Ran out of luck early on. Seems like they have been cursed this time around, but hopefully it is only a story for the first match as Santa with a bit of ambition and a bit of flair. But again, held on for far too long. Challenge came in clean from Tenzin Namge, and now THIMPHU FC the chance to make something happen before we exit for the halftime break. Senchi Gelson right up front, but Hocho Nyima, no hesitation, sends it right back out, down the middle. Santa, no chance there. Clean timing on that challenge, got that foot dropper and solid on the ball. As again, a story for both teams simply struggling to keep possession alive. They are looking strong, enforcing those turnovers from their oppositions. But in build-up, well, it will be up to head coach Kinle for UA and head coach Raj for THIMPHU to work out as we head out into the halftime break in a bit more than 1 minute. 1 minute. It is THIMPHU FC's to take on that corner. They have been winning those aerial duels again and again, but Kanuwanshu and Jigdrol doing their level best this time. Target will be right towards Socho Nyima. Sencho Neo. Well, almost went for that volley on that setup. But it will go right back out to Locho Nyima. The last 30 seconds of the half. UGYEN Academy looking to close things off level before they go into the break. Pravin, that outlet not quite there. Still possession for UGYEN Academy. However, Santa. Pass forced right down a congested lane. Anyone's ball. It is Sencho Kelson who gets off a clean pass to Sencho Neo, making that overlap into the space left behind from Sencho. And Sencho it is again. Sencho Neo looking to get a shoulder in. Not quite sure if there was contact from UGYEN Chile. I do believe he pulled the chair on him. But the whistle there from referee Choki nonetheless. Well, it did seem like there was, and then a second of a hug there from UGYEN Chile, forced Sencho Neo off balance. As THIMPHU again an angle. We saw numerous replays and highlights from, and it is number 7 back at it again. This time will lob it up, whipped, and Locho Nyima with the save as not much time remain. And the whistle from the referee to signal the end of, surprisingly, a half full of goals. 2 for THIMPHU. It is 1 for UGYEN Academy as we head towards the halftime break. Plenty of physicality up front. A lot of cards thrown early as well. But since then, it has been a silent stretch. Both teams struggling to get any sort of meaningful possession in against their opposition. It has been THIMPHU FC finding their goals courtesy of solid runs from their forwards in Richard Wilson and Chizoba Christopher. But hopefully there is a solid talk in their respective locker rooms from their head coaches, looking forward to a more smarter, a more beautiful form of football in the second half. Until then, this was your commentator, Ugentesh Toji. Not quite sure what is being said in the comments, but I do believe I have a lot of devoted fans coming in. Thank you for the support. Thank you guys for your interactions, and thank you guys for tuning in. Do see you guys in the second half.
Substitution for THIMPHU FC. 17, jersey number 17 out, jersey number 14 in.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, good Zangpo, and welcome back again to what has been confusing first half between THIMPHU FC and UGYEN Academy FC. Right now, 3 goals on the board, 2 for THIMPHU, 1 for UGYEN Academy. But the methods in which they have been achieved, a formula they haven't been able to replicate in any way, shape, or form consistently, at least. But with that out of the way, looking forward to a completely different second half. UGYEN Academy in blue on the restart against the Thunderbolts in white. A substitution has been made for THIMPHU. Kritish Chunju, who did go down early on, has been taken out. Coming in is Dawat Sitting. Part of their run since the qualifiers, alongside a couple of the players from THIMPHU FC that they picked up since their dissolution. And so far, he has been one of the major players to stay alongside former THIMPHU head coach Raja as well. UGYEN Academy, this time looking promising. Crisp passes, ends up in a shot from Shimitoji that has to be forced out by the fingertips of Pramijay Gachadar. A solid start inside the first 30 seconds. And UGYEN Academy look like they have finally gotten their issues resolved. Pramijay, his first true test in a long time from the side of UGYEN Academy, and off of that effort, they do earn themselves a corner. Not many options going forward into that box. They will resort to a short pass, which is played far and out. This time on that right flank, they will do a great job keeping it out of the feet of Tincho Neo, which is over Christopher Ikwobe. Puts enough pressure in, forces UGYEN Academy to get that pass awkwardly out. Tawa knocked down. As it is, one back again the other way around. A solid first 30 seconds, but right now we do seem to be back in pace to have the match that we had in the first half. Right now, the goal scorers for THIMPHU City are their debutant Nigerian Chisoba Christopher Ikwobe alongside Richard Wilson, who found one in for himself in the 14th minute. Again, fun fact, the opening of this match was scored in the 2nd minute by THIMPHU FC. A response in the 22nd from Ronit Rai, who is also jersey number 22. But that is where we left off and have since struggled. To pick it back up as Chigral looking to set it up early, delivers it long, aiming to win it deep inside THIMPHU territory. Pramijay, taking no risk, will get that solidly. Do believe that is the Nepal flag on his gloves, if I'm not wrong, but the other way around. Richard Wilson gets a clean delivery inside, but Kandu Wanchu right in the way. The centre back has been a solid problem for every team to deal with in that back line. Their loss is simply coming off of unfortunate team questions. THIMPHU looking to build something promising up, but THIMPHU Kelsen this time released it quickly. It could not quite thread it through the needle this time around as Kanto, unfortunate on that clearance. It is UGYEN Academy who gets that final header off. Almost kept it in play courtesy of that hustle from Pravin, tracking that ball right back up. But it will go the other way around. Jimmy Wanchu with the throw and plays it short. Gets it poked right back out to 29. And now the other way around as Williams gets past Jig Drill and a shot. Aimed strong and aimed true, but Locho Nyima with the final say on that effort. Again, a closer look at that. Got past UA's captain with ease. Kandu Wanchu turned around a bit too early there. And that shot flew straight. It was Locho Nyima who had a solid read despite the lack of vision on that shot. And off of that effort, it will be Richard Wilson delivering that corner. It will be driven out to the edge of the box. But not really met. Not properly met. And it will go the other way around on that challenge from Tao Tsering. He was expecting that whistle to go the other way. But instead, it is UGYEN Academy's to start with. Again, a horror story here for Pravin Around, who keeps being tucked away in the back pocket on that right flank. He is one of their other solid options other than Santa to get a consistent effort in towards their opposition's post. And right now he is finding no success at all. Senjo. Plenty of options. He has the pace to take it forth himself. That pass will stay onside and Locho Nyima. Solid goalkeeping from the UGYEN Academy phenom. And will keep the score where it is. 2 still for THIMPHU. Continuously hunting for their third. And Locho Nyima denying them the pleasure of one more celebration. UGYEN Academy steadily making progress into THIMPHU's box, but will not be the one they want. Again, look at that pass again, right in the middle of Kandu and Jigdral, and that final shot. Solid performance from Locho Nyima. But to come back into this match, they will need a bit more heroics from the rest of their roster. Plenty of pace on that shot, but the ground took most of the sting out of it. And it will now go back the other way around. Richard Wilson. Chizoba. Senjo Kelsen, his passes have been their way forward, but this time cannot find a thread in. And the offside flag is up on Christopher. A strong 5 minutes to start the first half for the Nigerian forward, but since then it has been a tale of troubles. Plenty of efforts from his side, but could not quite manage to get it perfect. UA's crowd absolutely loving that challenge on Jimmy Wanchu, who thought he had the time and space to get a pass out. But Pravin right in between the legs of Richard Wilson, and UGYEN Academy's possession it is. Santa on that left flank, a lot of space for the youngsters to operate in, and the delivery right was Pramijay. No mistakes from their goalkeeper, and the Thunderbolts the chance to strike yet again. Senjo Kelsen, his creativity has been crucial towards getting a lot of critical chances in. This time will get the backspin on that ball to keep it in stride for Richard Wilson, but so is Kandru Wanshu. US Giant right there as well. And it will be a restart for THIMPHU, who gets possession back immediately. Sencho, posted up. Asked for that call from the referee, which she promptly answered with. So far in the first hour, THIMPHU FC have given away a lot of chances when their players up front, including Zenjo Gelson, were posted up. Couldn't quite see the efforts that were being made from their blind spots. But it has been a while since then. The second half, Zenjo Gelson has been as dangerous as you could ask from any player. And the referee having a couple of words over on that left side. Socho drives it far out on that right flank, will give yet another opportunity for THIMPHU FC to bring it right down that left. Richard Wilson has been a consistent option up front this time, gets it past again. The first defender beaten, the second beaten as well. But Shimitoji right in the way of that final outlet. Uintile. THIMPHU. Seems like they have their composure down at least. And the calm deliveries from Zenjo Gelson. All right, as I said, it let loose one reckless one, as they hand over possession right back over to UGYEN Academy. UGYEN Academy, they have gotten a lot of solid possessions in, but it only lasted right up until that final stretch before they could get it inside the edge of the box. And again, the same story this time around. THIMPHU looking to get a quick counter-offensive on, wanting to catch the UA side off guard. They will try it this time on that right flank. A lot of runners, a lot of white jerseys in the sea of blue to work with. It will be Dawa, pass right down to a congested midfield. Now outlet, Zencho Neo right back in. Richard Wilson, right foot. And the second time off the woodworks. And the second for Richard Wilson, who makes it 3 for THIMPHU. A momentary lack of focus from the side of UGYEN Academy. And that opening, all it took for THIMPHU FC to find a quick couple of passes and then Richard Wilson all the space in the world to get a clean shot in. Too far out, even for Locha Nyima, as the home crowd silenced with what very well may be the dagger in this match. Half an hour more to go. But if we've seen anything in the first hour, it has been the fact that UGYEN Academy are struggling. Their options are being closed down on time and time again. They are not able to win those long balls back up front. Udoka making his intent clear against the referee. A short appeal there, but again, we have one of the most sternest referees in the nation, one of the best as well. A lot of reputation internationally. Will not really work for them if they try to get an appeal like that in. As Pravin finally gets a breeze pass, this time delivery right in the middle towards the opposition. Santa trying again, gets a delivery far out wide to the other flank. UGYEN Academy, a lot of bodies committed. They will look to get a shot in, but THIMPHU FC are congested and they will get possession back. THIMPHU Gelson, not many runners this time around, will take it forward right down the middle himself, looking to close that. Well, Bhutan's legend struggling in this match, not quite the best in terms of shot selection. As they hand over yet another opportunity to UGYEN Academy. Again, understandable, has not taken many shots so far, has been working to get those passes in. Instead, as a mistake from Pramijay will be taken advantage of in full and in trust by Santa Kumar Limbu, who makes it 2 for UGYEN Academy. Again, the closer look at that. Simply unfortunate for Pramijay, who had his arms up but couldn't get past the stature of Santa, who was up and high in the air. Time to perfection, caught that ball at his highest vertical reach. And in it is, as UA back in this game, 1 away from tying it, 2 away from taking it right back from under the noses of the Thunderbolts. A slow restart underway as Pramijay is getting evaluated by the medical staff on the field. Again, a closer look at that delivery, an unfortunate stumble there from Pramijay. Again, with that effort from Santa, their home crowd advantage back in full swing. The audience now a reason to fire up their boys. A lot of distractions underway from THIMPHU, who will have to do a pretty solid job of blocking out all that commotion from the sidelines wherever they are on the field. And given the scale of this ground, they are not far away from their origin. Despite what looked like a disappointing first half, this match has turned out in completely unexpected performances. Goals are being rewarded for sheer hustle and energy as substitutions coming in.
Substitution
From
for
Soteshi
THIMPHU FC.
has been brought in for Jimmy Wangchu. Was a crucial part of the Thunderbolts campaign in the qualifiers, has been one of the key local players who've gotten solid and consistent minutes even in their campaign up in the BoB, Bhutan Premier League. So nice to see him back on the pitch this time around versus UGYEN Academy. Throw in from Funso. Not quite the best to start off the match with. And now Chimi. But a little bit too much on that effort. Pravin was making that run, but that ball way too far away for even the wind to catch up to it. With the match intensifying, the turnout here at UGYEN Academy is increasing by the numbers as well. Coming back into this match early on, which looked like a dreary nightmare, right now looking like a very inevitable promise of a future that THIMPHU, apologies, will not want to see. A brilliant string of passes got that set up for their new Nigerian forward. Also, Somjukdril is on the bench. His position is being covered up by a new Nigerian signing up front, 52, Chizoba Christopher Ikobe, who has already scored one, and that was inside the first 2 minutes of the game. And again, with regards to THIMPHU, the Thunderbolts do have a solid presence in their depth. Prince on the bench, Somjukdril on the bench. A lot of options to work with if they ever need a fresh set of legs. As UGYEN Academy, on the other hand, seem to be getting tired, compromising in the strength of their first 11. Will mean that will be the space THIMPHU FC gets to fully capitalize and take over in this match. As this time around, Richard Wilson posted up, but it is Isha Sopel who gets first contact. Still UGYEN Academy, but a bit unfortunate on that final touch. It will be throw-in for the Thunderbolts. No whistle there on that challenge from Isha Sopel. Jigdrill following up. Dangerous tackle there, which Dawud Singh avoided with all his focus, and this time breach right down the middle, puts a touch, he gets a foot in, and it will be enough to deflect it out of bounds. A close call there for UGYEN Academy, who was making a solid run. Lawang Sonam, a promising goal threat, had one against Zirang. None this time around, but again the promise still there from UGYEN Academy's forwards. And now Chimi, a lot of targets to pick apart from us. That left foot goes nowhere near any of their teammates. Desperation getting evident, but these boys, understandably very young, Santa plays it right back to Tawa again. A painful mispass there from UGYEN Academy, and now the offside flag against THIMPHU. Punso. The chance to get something going, but Jake Drell with that fake gets himself the space for Chimmy, who gets a clean dribble in, and now Pravin on that right again, this time matched up against Udoka, lobs it right up, but it is Stefan Abeku he has to beat. Not much hope there on that possession, did look promising, especially with that angle which looked very cinematic somehow. And now it is Chimmy. Delivery, back post, no contact there, but it is still alive on that other flank. Did all they could, but couldn't find any angle to get either a cross or a shot in. Past a brilliant and compacted defense from the Thunderbolts. But off of that effort, it will be a corner for UGYEN Academy. It is Chimmy stepping up. Chimmy. Almost at the start there, but the referee signaling for a restart on that. As this time around, Chimmy, no hesitation, right inside, can't do the target, but couldn't quite muscle his way past THIMPHU's African defenders. Now back the other way, it is Richard Wilson who takes an unfortunate stumble. And a yellow card this time for UGYEN Academy on that challenge deep inside THIMPHU territory, this time on Long Sonam. Again, stomped on Udoka's feet, had to hurt, but has deservedly gotten a yellow card for himself. Tsincho, still Tsincho. He has been reckless with his shot selection so far, but this time around finds a narrow angle. And a ricochet will send it right out. Close call against UGYEN Academy, who definitely had their heartbeats going up a couple, as Ngong Sonam, a couple of words against Udoka. Does end quickly. Chimidochi looking to set up that shot. Left foot goes out, and brilliant effort there from Mijay. Had to do all he could to try and reach that ball. Again, the first look at Tsincho's shot. Almost went in, and again a response the other way around. The woodworks blessed. The side post blessed THIMPHU FC with 2 goals already. But the same not happening for UGYEN Academy. Tsincho. 1-on-1 versus Locho, and the legend is struggling. Attempted a nonchalant chip there over Locho. But so far, given the shots he has been taking, all form of control down the drain, as it is still 3 for the Thunderbolts and 2 for UA. Santa gets a lob in, which Sencho Neo snatches away immediately, but possession back for Chikdral, who gets that first fake off. Udoka foot right in front of Santa. And back to Locho again. Plenty of time left for UGYEN Academy to find their rhythm. But that opportunity goes both ways. The Thunderbolts have the opportunity to extend their lead, double the goals we have right now. Also, with regards to Thinphhu Kelson, the reason he went into surgery was because he came off with an ACLTA, I believe, which elongated is called the Achilles tendon, which is the massive string that you have behind your ankles, which is the spring that gives athletes and everyone your speed and explosiveness. So understandably, Thinphhu Kelson, we can't really expect the same pace and burst of speed we've seen for him for years. It should not really affect his finishing. As THIMPHU get a delivery in back post, and Locho, solid hand, sends it right back out. They are expecting a prayer to be answered from Pravin. Still possession for UGYEN Academy. Santa hands it right up to Pravin, who can't keep it under control. But it is still alive, and a header right inside the 6-yard box will fly up and over. Chimidoji, brilliantly positioned. But again, the issue with the youth squads here in Bhutan, not really the height to capitalize on the game sense that they are blessed with. Also do apologize, but I thought it was ACL at the ankle and MCL at the knee. But do correct me if I'm wrong. UGYEN Academy on the verge of yet another big breakthrough. They are getting a lot of decent opportunities in on the other end. Can't really say the same for THIMPHU, who are wasting a lot of opportunities. They are positioning themselves. They are getting the numbers advantage that they want. And also, UGYEN Academy's goalkeeper, Lochonyima, was born in 2005. If I'm not mistaken, one of the oldest players in the UGYEN Academy squad. I do believe the oldest is Santa, who was born in 2003, if I'm not mistaken. The youngest goes down to 2010. So a very, very young squad. And with that context, the score right now, even more unbelievable. UGYEN Academy, delivery, this time first contact for THIMPHU, but threat not averted there. Chikdral gets the clean up, 15 will take it up, space in front of Thinphhu, and the other Thinphhu gets the deflection off. Finally cleared off the line. Unfortunate contact with the boot of Thinphhu Kelson. as that pass cannot quite make its way towards Nong Sonam, posted on that flank. But does seem like the referee had visuals on that contact. It will be a set piece for Jigdrill and UGYEN Academy. The captain so far involved in both aspects of the game. This time looking to get a critical delivery inside in what very well may be the closing stretch of this match. A bit more than 10 minutes remain. Pass driven right in the middle and right back out to Jigdrill. Taking on that assignment is THIMPHU Kelson, who is down, but advantage will be played. Richard Wilson. It is 2 against 3. They have help on that left now. With that outlet towards the right. On screen, one of 2 new debutants for THIMPHU. Had a goal, a strong start in the 2nd minute. But since then haven't really been able to find any other answer, as this time came close to his 2nd, but that header will be completely far off and wide. Also, again, much love to our viewers. Thank you for the corrections and the information. All of these injuries, nonetheless, a major setback to any individual pursuing a career in sports and athletics. As this time around, a forced shot from that right flank will go far off into the chain nets behind. Also, ambitious drive there, but will not be enough. Christopher hands possession right back over to UGYEN Academy. Again, it is still a 1-goal difference. Punsatashi. Driven down that right, plenty of pace for THIMPHU to work with. But again, a deflection, and this time a corner for THIMPHU yet again. Taking it is their other new debutant, the Ghanaian Williams. Header, back post, and right inside. No chance there for UGYEN Academy, as THIMPHU FC doubles that lead with a hat-trick from Richard Wilson. The performance expected of him since the start of their campaign. Struggled to get his footing up here in the Himalayas. But finally proving his mettle, earning his worth. And look at that, the setup from Tenzin Namgyal. Finished with utter violence. No chance there for Lhochonyima. And the scoreline now 4 for THIMPHU FC, 2 for UGYEN Academy. UAE's defense in shambles right now. Now that the lead and the ask that their coach will be making of them, 3 goals to get the 3 points today. A hard task for any team. against any matchup, and right now it is against a team with a lot of momentum, a lot of hype. And it doesn't look like they will stop here. Richard Wilson gets it from THIMPHU Kelton. Delivered right down the middle. Stefan Beku. Dawa. William. Neo, and back towards their centre backs. Udoka. Dawa gets it right back. UGYEN Academy steadily creeping towards THIMPHU territory and building up the pressure, but an easy breakthrough right down the middle as Dawa gets it right back in. His first touches are proving essential as Punsatashi now let loose on that left flank. And a strong arm there from the UAE captain. Earns it right back out. Looked promising from 70. But will not amount to much. And now back to THIMPHU FC to get something going. UGYEN Academy. An ambitious effort towards Pramije, who is down. Again, we haven't seen Baitika line up for the Thunderbolts in a while. Not quite sure what the situation is, but have to understand that they will play their foreign signings primarily. Chigdral. This is the UAE centre back taking it right up and handing it right back over. Pramije already let one in from Santa off of a similar setup, but this time no mistakes from the goalkeeper. And only 5 more minutes to fight off. Funso. Right down the middle and a calm escape as Stefan Abeku sends it right out. Attention, Neo looking to get involved. A strong effort there from Williams. As THIMPHU FC getting a bit relaxed in terms of their shot selection. Feels like the win is already in the bag. UGYEN Academy, despite the time left, not showing many signs of promise towards getting even one more in. But again, this match has been a story of miracles. Failed build-ups, one after the other, leading to a surprise. Goal after goal for both sides. Neo. Stefan Abeku will send it out to Neo, waiting on that right flank. Again, look at the energy from the veteran. A level of focus quite uncommon in the league here in Bhutan. There are moments where the players simply daze around. Look at Neo again on that top flank. Waiting for that pass, did not come, but again, will not be discouraged. Will make that run time and time again whenever his team needs him. This time delivered on that left flank. Funsatashi does stumble and a challenge underway. Strong it is from Hishitobel. The Nigerian forward subbed out. Coming in is Somchuktrul Chezong for THIMPHU. Wilson. Right down the middle. Strong first touch there from Stefan Abeku, but too strong it is as Jigdrell comes out with the janitor duty, but can't quite get the outlet off again. Richard Wilson getting greedy at this point, already has 3. As we enter the last minute of regulation time. Santa fighting off a forearm there, took the ankles off of Utoka Eboawu. But that move doesn't really amount to much as they lose possession yet again. Otherwise, a promising start, UGYEN Academy. Failing to create anything meaningful out of that chance created by Santa. Also, for the information of our viewers, over in the Women's National League here in Bhutan, we did break for half a month. Had our last match a couple days back. And we have the exam break until the end of the month, if I'm not wrong. Do not have the same, despite having a lot of students over in the men's side as well. Five more minutes. And now back to Kandruwachu UGYEN Academy. 5 minutes is a hopeful time where they may be able to at least find one more in and maybe another, as a solid effort there from Santa. Forces an acrobatic drive there from Pramijay as it is sent out for a corner. Santa. Again, a closer look at that effort. Looked like it went high up and away, but dipped mid-flight. And UGYEN Academy earned themselves a crucial opportunity. Posted inside is Kandru, but they do have a lot of options if they want to pass it short as well.
Jersey number 11, Lawson out. Jersey number 9, Somlodi in.
Coming in is Somlodi. Has gotten himself consistent minutes throughout UGYEN Academy's campaign, as this time delivery is placed back. It will roll right out. Khandu trying to keep it awake, as it seems like Utoka inside THIMPHU's box is down. Wilson. Ending will look to end this match with a hat-trick, but given the attempts he's making on the other side, looks like he will be looking for more. As THIMPHU gets a delivery in, Somchuktrul. Heavy touch, and UGYEN Academy fighting off with the only forward from THIMPHU who they feel like they have at least a chance with. And they send it out long. Santa, a lot of options. Pravin right there for that shot, but might have delivered it too late, and Santa will go for it himself. Plenty of options out of that scenario, and he had to choose the most difficult one of them all.
Substitution for THIMPHU FC, jersey number 99, New Center out, jersey number 46, Karma Dojuwanchu in.
UGYEN Academy almost wins possession back, but Funsatashi is quick to the recovery. William. Somlore putting his fresh legs to full use, putting that pressure on THIMPHU, but they do find the outlet out to that right flank. And again, UGYEN Academy taking full advantage of that matchup. The last minute of additional time. It is a breakthrough on that right. THIMPHU, however, do manage to get a fumble in somehow at that end. And the same for UGYEN Academy. Hands possession right back over. And Tinthu Gelson it is. No rush from the Thunderbolts, who look to close this match out with a much needed victory to get out of the bottom. Replacing them instead will be Tensung, who will be moved down to 9th place with 4 points to their name. THIMPHU will move up to 6 points in a three-way tie alongside Serang FC and Transport United FC, but it will not be too many spots up. THIMPHU will be jumping only one spot right up, as it is a really congested league this time around. 2 teams with 10 points, 2 teams with 8 points. RTC, the lone team, with 7 points, 6 points for 3 teams once this match is over, which should be anytime soon if the referee decides to end it. But UGYEN Academy will be granted one last chance to get things going. Somjuk Troll almost got one back for THIMPHU, but that will be it. A solid outing for THIMPHU, got a win after a long time. Had that lone game against RTC that got them their only 3 points, and this time it will be up against UGYEN Academy, where they will find their next 3. On the other hand, UA, as respectable as their efforts were in this match, they will be left all alone at the bottom of the table, the only team with 3 points. And not much margins going forth, as finally the league is stretching thin. Teams are separating themselves at the top. But until then, do let me know which team you are supporting for this campaign in this season. Handshakes between the 2 teams on the ground despite the rough start early on. Again, massive thanks to our sponsors, Bank of Bhutan, our internet partners, Bhutan Telecom Limited, our beverage partners, Coca-Cola, and to our clothing partners, Hummel. Much love to all of them for making this league happen as we end the match here at UGYEN Academy. 4 for THIMPHU FC and the Thunderbolts, 2 for UGYEN Academy FC, and the home crowd will go off to their own rooms with 2 losses at home in a row, the last one against Serang. But again, thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you guys for the support. Do subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Do go give us a follow over on Facebook for announcements, news, and updates with regards to the league and Bhutan's international campaigns, which are upcoming. Yeah. But until then, again, this was your commentator, Ugan Tashtoji. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys in the next one.